الحمد لله رب العالمين حمدا يوافي نعمه ويكافئ مزيده والصلاة والسلام على خير الأنام وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. إننا نوينا التعلم والتعليم والتذكر والتذكير والنفع والانتفاع والإفادة والاستفادة والدعاء إلى الهدى والضلالة على الخير والحث والتمسك بكتاب الله وسنة رسول الله ابتغاء مرضات الله وقربه وثوابه سبحانه وتعالى. Praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, beneficent bestower of bounties and mercies. We praise Him a praise that's worthy for our Lord Most High and Exalted, and we ask our Lord to send copious and unlimited blessings and salutations upon our beloved Prophet Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. So he says, وَعَلَيْكَ إِنْ كَانَ لَكَ مَا قال المؤلف رحمه الله رضي الله عنه وعنكم نفعنا به وبكم وعليك إن كان لك مال تجب فيه الزكاة بإخراج زكاته طيبة بها نفسك قاصدا بها وجه الله. You read? What page, Haj?
Are we on chapter 18?
Yeah, 16.
16?
Yeah, that's the one.
When you have money on which zakat is payable, be aware of when it falls due, define its quantity, separate it from the rest, give it willingly, and intend to be solely for the sake of God.
Alright? So, the Imam, like, that's the beautiful thing about this text. The beautiful thing about this text is divided up into separate chapters, and each chapter is a lesson about one aspect of Islam on its own, in of itself and on its own. So that means if you miss it for a while, it's okay. You can come and benefit out of it. So basically, up to this stage, Imam has been talking about things that affect the self, right? So the Imam has been talking about the tilawat of the Qur'an, the recitation of the Qur'an, one's reflection, one's physical state, how one should be when they sit in a particular gathering, if they're a worshipper, if they're a salik, if it's a seeker to Allah Azza wa Jal. The Imam talks about what our routine should be like in life, how our hearts should be in regards to how we perceive the world we live in. Also about the sunnah of the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, how to eat, how to sit, how to sleep. All these things have been covered by the Imam. Now the Imam talks about something that is not directly part of who we are as human beings. It is in a way, depending on how much you're attached to it, but it's not a direct aspect of one as a human being. And it's about one's financial circumstances and one's financial situation. And it's a rukun of the deen. Bunya al-Islamu ala khams. Islam was established or built upon 5 principles. And that's really what they are. 5 aspects of the arkan or 5 principles of the deen. And we know the shahadat la ilaha illallah. We've been talking about that with Imam al-Haddad. Like iqam al-salat. Like that wa Samu Ramadan. And some of the ulama did different way yet. One zakat comes before Ramadan in the hadith, and one Ramadan comes before zakat. Mostly, but zakat comes before Ramadan. Badaniya, they say this is ibadah badaniya and this is ibadah maliya. Badaniya means it's related to the person, badan, and so that's fasting. And ibadah maliya, it's related to your cash. But in our day and age, cash is king, isn't it what they say? Cash is everything. Money is who you are, and how much property you have relates to your status. And we're a consumer society, and it's a capitalistic world. And they're saying in the next couple of years, 1% of the world's population is going to be wealthier than the 99% of the rest of the world. They're saying, like, I think it's next year or this year or sometime soon. So the effect of super wealth and the super wealthy is become so overbearing and overwhelming in our society that money is becoming everything. It's more important than persons. The examples are everywhere. People are suffering from diseases, from sicknesses, like in my profession, sitting down. Actually, let's go straight to my profession. In law, the highest rate of depression in any field is in the legal field. It's double the next profession, which is medicine. Double. It's nearly 10%. It's 9 and a bit percent of the profession is depressed. Then after that comes in medicine, which is almost 5%, and then engineering, which is about 4%. So that means people, just to make money and have status, they're going into a stage of depression, mental melees. Not to mention, it's about 60% substance abuse rate, which means alcohol, prescription drugs, illicit drugs, and whatever else. That's in my own personal profession. 60%. That means to survive in this business, this field, and be a high flyer, and be a hot shot, or be a gun, or whatever you want to call it, you basically have to be on some sort of a substance, and secondary to that. And I've seen it in mine when I was younger and I worked in the city, and that alcohol, everyone's drunk, don't worry about that. Even recently we went away on a trip, people getting blind drunk, that's it. Very wealthy people, high flyers, respected people in the society, that's what they do to relax. They have trouble relaxing outside of that. So my point being that finances and money and property has, in a sense, taken over. In a sense, taken over. In the old days, people would be like, don't even worry about it, man. I'm going to go back to being a gardener. The guy Jim's mowing, he used to be a solicitor, he used to be a lawyer, and he had enough of it. True story, as they say. He used to be a solicitor, and it was too much, and then he went off and started his own thing. But now, no way, you're going to leave being a lawyer? What are you, crazy? You're going to stop being a lawyer? The Arabs. You're a disgrace to the family, you've disgraced our family. So same thing with everyone, a lot of people that come from overseas, because there's the high, that push, the upward mobility to be wealthy, as the case might be. So, in my book and in my mind, Allah knows better, money has become everything. More important than any family. What? How many people don't even know their father or mother, as the case might be? Mum's too busy doing this, shopping, getting her lips puffed up, or getting her eyebrows tattooed, or getting whatever. And dad's too busy. He comes home, he's too tired, sleeps. If you talk to him, he goes off. Someone was telling me recently that their husband was his business was so stressful that when he comes home, no one's allowed to talk. No noise. No one's allowed, everything's got to be still. So the kids have to go to a different part of the house, and dad's got to be a different part of the house because it's too stressful. So, money over family. Money over family. And it's not one or two people, it's the majority. Money over akhirah. Money over akhirah. Don't worry. Kullu malash. Some alcohol. It's all good. Just say Bismillah and eat. Our first home is alright. Who told you the first home is alright in interest? No, that's what the Shaykh. Who? Which Shaykh? Are you sure? Yeah, that's what everyone's saying. Khalas. Everyone's saying it. Let's all do it. So, even people are willing to sell, and I'm not talking it's a minority, it's the majority. It's the majority of people willing to sell the hereafter for a piece of what? Dirt. Let's not like, beat around the bush. Let's not beat around the bush. It is a piece of dirt. Whether it's a car, where does the car come from? Metal, which comes from the earth, which is dirt, right? Or whether it's a house, whether it's on the dirt, what's it made of? Wood, where's it from? Dirt. Bricks, where's it from? Dirt. So let's not get too fancy. Let's not get too... Glass, what is it? Sand, dirt. Hey, another word for dirt. So let's not get too, too untechnical about it, and that's what we're fighting for. That's what we're arguing over. Don't worry about all that. That's what we're selling our hereafter for. So let's weigh it up in the scale. Isn't it the mizan? Isn't it the scale? Al-Furqan, the criterion between falsehood and truth, which is you're not allowed to say that word anymore, truth. What's truth? Don't worry, man, just live your life. Have fun. About truth, what do we stress out for? Don't worry about truth. So what's the truth? Truth is that it's made of dirt. No matter how you dress it up, how you paint it, how you shape it, it's still dirt. You're going to sell your whole hereafter to work, and now your guys has got no hope of buying houses anyway. Doesn't matter. 30 years. So that means by the time you get married, how old are you going to be? 25, 30. So when you're 60, you're going to own your home. Oh, big achievement. What are you going to do then? You're better ready for the grave. He said, our lives, alayhi salatu wasalam, between 60 he said our lives are between 60 and 70. So go and sign up. What's it called? Mortgage. What's that word mean? death. Engage to bind. A contract until death. That's what I'm. It's not my words. I'm not making it up. That's what it means. It's a Latin word. That's what it means. So here we are, and they're not. Don't worry about just that. Then talk to the person who's done it. Oh, he's a king. She's a queen. They know I got a house. Now a house in Auburn is worth $1 million. I'm a millionaire. Don't talk to me. I'm a million. I'm somebody. I have $1 million. But that's the reality. Go see them all. Go see him. You can't talk to him. Or you can't talk to her. Even if he did it, it's his wife. If it wasn't for me, I advised him. I told him to do that, and he did it. That's it. That's the reality. I got it. If I got something that's stolen and I'm wearing it, how am I wearing it? I'm not comfortable. I'm trying to hide. Maybe I've got no other clothes. It's cold. Go to the washing line, steal someone's jacket. I wear it. Do I walk around like I'm the king, touring his kingdom? No. I wear it. It's a sitro. It's a rukhso. In other words, it's something to cover me because I can't be covered. That's the first house. It's like I was hungry, right? And there was nothing to eat, so I went and got I saw a dead cow or a dead roo that had been roadkill. I chopped off its leg and ate it. That's what even if you can say go and have riba, go to riba, go and have interest. That's what it's like. So now I'm chopping off the dead kangaroo and I'm inviting people to the feast. What? Hello? What's going on? That's the reality of the world we live in. That's the reality of your family. That's the reality of my family. That's the reality of our community. So we either want truth or we want falsehood. And it's not to put anyone down at all. Everyone has got their own question and everyone has to answer to that question. And Allah's going to ask the question, they have to answer. So I'm not going to ask the questions, neither are you of whoever. So that doesn't mean you go home and you tell your parents, that's it, I'm not living in my house, it's whatever. That's their business. But what I'm saying to you is about the state of mind and the state of heart of individuals who grow up like that, who are born into this way of thinking, meaning you and meaning me. Not worry about anyone else. Everyone, they've got their own account. And maybe Allah will forgive them. Maybe I won't and you won't, but Allah will forgive them, so it's none of our business. But what is our business is to understand the world around us. What is our business is to understand how important money is and has become in the life of a Muslim. Don't worry about a non-Muslim. This is their Jannah. The Muslim, that's their paradise. And when I hold the non-Muslim, the disbeliever more correctly. Not the non-Muslim, the one who knows and disbelieves. The non-Muslim may never have received the message correctly. Allah will leave them to Allah. But the disbeliever, this is their Jannah. They're not going to get any better than this. It's going to be worse than this when A'udhu Billah in the next life. It's going to be worse than this when A'udhu Billah in the next life. But it's for you to understand the world around you. It's for you to understand what your own thoughts are like and what they're influenced by. They say that every year a child watches 70,000 commercials on TV. 70,000. Imagine every year they saw 70,000 ahadith. Imagine every year they recited 70,000 verses of the Qur'an. Imagine every year they said 70,000 La ilaha illallah. What would be the state? So that's what I'm trying to compare. What I'm trying to get the angle to. So that you understand the world around you. You know how to deal with people. You know how to firstly deal with Allah. Your relationship between you and Allah. Secondly, your relationship between you and yourself. And thirdly, to understand the world around you. Understand the falsehood that's going on around you so you don't fall into it. And if Allah gives you the capacity to advise someone, firstly by your actions, and then by your tongue if that's the case, or if not by your dua, then that's a bonus. That's a bonus. But we have to understand the reality. So money is everything. Money is what everyone goes for. Money is what everyone thinks about. What? The sisters that aren't married, what's the first question your parents are going to ask when someone comes to your house? Oh, I saw her at uni, mum ring up, speaks to mum, we want to come, cup of coffee, that's the usual story, isn't it? Cup of coffee at your house, whatever. What work does he do? What does he do? Oh, he's a shopkeeper. My daughter, she's educated at university. My daughter is going to be queen of the universe. So, sorry, if you're not earning this much. One brother even came to me, said his future father-in-law wanted to see his bank account. He wants to see how much money he's got in the bank before he'll give him his daughter. I'm not saying that's right, but what's that a result of? The mentality of, like, chop the leg of the dead kangaroo, and now I'm something because the leg of the dead kangaroo is worth whatever. That's the mentality. That's what breeds that mentality. Don't ask about the deen. Don't worry about deen. Don't ask about akhlaq. Don't worry if he's a stinger. Don't ask if he's tight, stingy. Because the ulama, the salihin, the pious people, the awliya of Allah, would not marry their daughter to someone who was stingy, even if he was the most learned person in the whole town. Because what's going to happen if the husband's stingy? I want to hear from the back. What's going to happen if the husband's stingy? Naam? Still, you seriously don't know? No. Are you serious?
I don't know what the correct answer is.
What do you think it is? If the husband, the person who controls,
going to be deprived?
Huh?
The children are going to be deprived?
wife's going to be deprived, children. What kind of life's it going to be?
A hard one.
Hey, ta'is. It's going to be stingy. You want to go somewhere? No, you can't go. It's not going to be much of a life. Right? No one wants that. Now, today's a bit different. There's government handouts and, the people working and whatever. But still, if the guy's stingy, what's going to happen? You turn the light on. There's an international incident called, what's his name? Ban Ki-moon, to come and, why'd you use this? Why'd you do that? Why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? It's a life of question, answer, accountability over things that don't really matter. All right, if people leaving the taps on all night, that's one thing. So that the ulama would not marry their daughters, even if the prospective groom was most learned, if the guy was stingy, because it's going to be a difficult, treacherous type of life. Okay? Don't ask about that. Cash. Does the guy have cash? Does he drive a $200,000 car? Does he wear a suit? Does he talk big? Me? This is the Lebo one, classic Lebo one. I'll put gold on her arms from her wrist up to her elbow. So what? On both hands. So what? If he's got no good akhlaq, if he doesn't know how to treat a woman, if he's not a man, he can't make a decision about life. If he can't take responsibility for himself, if his mum telling him what to do, so what if he got all the money in the world?
It's just going to weigh her down, literally.
It's going to drive her insane. Insane. And then she's going to end up doing something when I was there, and then that's it. If they have kids, it's worse. So all it's about is money, cash. Don't worry about the rest. He prays. So why am I saying it's for you to know? You know what I mean? Like these days, in some sense, you have to be your own mother and father in a way. Unfortunately, misfortunately, I'm sorry to say. But if you want to have a life where you're seeking Allah's Azza, in a sense, you have to take some responsibility for that. All right. Now, if the guy comes, this is the other version of the story, and he's got a beard, and he wears the jubba, and he doesn't work, and he's all day in the masjid, what? You tell me, I don't want to tell you. And it's Deen Muhammad, Prophet said this, Allah says that.
Maybe just that.
It's probably worse. All right? You don't want a deadbeat guy either, or the guy's, yes, don't worry, darling, I'll do this for you, I'll this, and I'll do, and I'll this, and he's not a man, he can't make a decision for himself. At the beginning, it sounds good. At the beginning, it's great. Yeah, I've got it over this bloke. No worries. But 10 years into the relationship, the woman's going to say, I want a man. I don't want someone. I want someone to take care of me. I want someone to look after me. I don't want someone I'm telling him what to do. All right. So the other side of the coin isn't the perfect either. It has to be all our amur is wasata. Our affairs are all balanced. So the guy's got to pray. First thing, if he's not praying, I don't know what you want from a guy that doesn't. If he doesn't obey Allah, how's he going to treat you? If you can't, give the hukuk, the rights of Allah, how's he going to give you your rights? Mustahil. Impossible. Right? Secondly, he's got to fast. Praying and fasting is the main thing. He's got to give zakat. He's got to have a profession. He's got to have a career. Whether he's a tradesman, or he's an engineer, or a doctor, or a lawyer, whatever it might be. He can't just be like, he works in a shoe shop. That's not a career. I know we're on this subject, but while we're there, we'll continue anyway. All right, so he's got to have a career. Maybe I'm affected by the khutbah. The khutbah was about marriage today. All right. If he doesn't have a career, a profession, yani, he's got to have a career. It doesn't have to be a finance expert or whatever. But if he's a tradesman, that's it. It's good enough. If he's a chef, it's good enough. He's got to have a career where he can fall back on. Even if he's got a career, he's a arts, graduate, he's a teacher, and he's working as something else. So what? You can always fall back on it. But guys without a career, this is the issue. What have they been committed to their whole life? He's 25, he doesn't have a profession. He's not a tradesman. What's he been doing? You got to worry. What's he been doing? He's been wasting his life. What's he going to do with you? He's going to waste your life too. All right? And he's got to have akhlaq. And that means akhlaq that you're satisfied with. If you're a tough character, and you need someone who's going to handle you, you're going to get some soft bloke. Yes, anything you want, I'm going to do for you. It's not going to work. And if you're super soft and anything happens, you start crying and, you're not going to get some tough nut bloke that's just, he used to be, whatever, he's got tattoos, he used to be in a gang and then he became Muslim and learnt the deen and he's a good man, but he's tough. Or his family is from, and I don't mean any disrespect, his family's from the country. And I mean the country in Lebanon. They're all hardcore, tough, like our area, They're all falahin and they're hardcore. And you're soft, dainty and very sensitive. It's not going to work. You've got to find someone who's suitable. And most important thing, including on the same, they're all number ones. They're all 1, 1, 1, the top list of priority. There's not 1, 2, they're all 1, 1, 1, 1. Without this, don't even worry. He has to be independent. He has to be a man, in other words. If his mum's telling him what to do, and his dad's telling him what to do, and you tell him something, and later on he comes back and says, no, let's do that, and you find out that's what his mum wants to do, you're going to hate your life. And if you're on the other side, if you're the man, Habibi, be a man. If you're not a man, wait till you're a man to get a woman. So they're the criteria, the fundamental aspects. And we're talking about it because we're talking about money and all that. But I don't know why. We got on the subject anyway. We're there. Inshallah, it's beneficial business for me and yourselves. Okay? So money is so important. Money is everything. And it's not a problem to have money. It's not a problem. One of the Ashra al-Mubashirin, one of the 10 people that the Prophet said, ﷺ, that they're going to go to Jannah, two of them were very wealthy. Sayyidina Abu Bakr was very wealthy. Then when he entered the deen, he gave it all away. And Sayyidina Abdul Rahman bin Auf, Allah anhu, was very wealthy all his life. All his life. Wherever he went, whatever he did, he had money. So money is not something that we hate. Okay? So I want to get in our minds where we are with cash. Do I wish I had $10 million? I wish I had $10 billion. Not 10 million. 10 billion. So I can do good things with it. I'll build a hospital. I'll build a university. I'll go to Africa and get wells and do whatever needs to be done. So I won't drive a gold-plated Bentley. Don't worry about that. I don't need a gold-plated Bentley. No worries. But to do khair, wherever the issues are for the Muslims and the non-Muslims. Don't worry just about the Muslims and the be there. Do khair. Buy. إن الله اشترى من المؤمنين أموالهم وأنفسهم وأموالهم بأن لهم الجنة. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to do a deal with you. Wants to purchase from you yourself and your money, and He wants to compensate you with Jannah. Or the consideration of the contract. Are you a lawyer? No. Whoever's a lawyer will know these things. But the consideration of the contract is cash, money. So Allah is saying the consideration is Jannah. In other words, you do this for me, I'll do that for you. Allah is saying, you give yourself up and you give your money up for me, I'll give you Jannah. What's the best thing in Jannah? The top thing? To see the countenance of Allah. So that's what Allah is saying. That's what Allah is telling us. That's what Allah is communicating for us. That money is not the issue. What's the issue? Okay? What people do with it and the love of it and the way we apply it. So go back to the example I gave you. Guy gets interest. It's the leg of a roadkill. Dead kangaroo. We're not country people, but when you drive in the country, if everyone's ever driven in the country in New South Wales, you see dead kangaroos all over the side of the road. The semi-trailer. Yeah, has anyone seen that? Yeah, a few people. All right. This is an example. All right. You're going to cut the leg off, and now I think I'm somebody. My leg's worth $1 million, as an example. But that's what the ulama talk about. Yep, if you want to do riba, if you want to use riba, in other words, interest, banks and all that, then it should be that you're at the situation or comparable to the fact that you can't eat and you would eat dead meat. That's the level they put it on. So here we are eating dead meat and thinking, I'm the king of the universe. My house, which is what, 600 square meters. 600, like what? You know, it's probably 10 times the size of this room. I'm the king of the universe with 600 square meters. Like no one could talk to me. They know who I am. Nor will I listen to anybody. No. Who do you think what do you have? If you don't have, you can't talk to me. You have to have more than me for me to listen to you. And don't think, and again, look where we go back to. When Bani Israel were being smashed, they were being smashed in Palestine after they left Egypt. Now what? So that example is our example. They said, Ya Allah, send us someone. We're being smashed. Jalut, the giants, Goliaths, were smashing us. Send us someone. No worries. Allah sends them Talut. Who are you sending us? This bloke, we don't want him. They said, why? Why don't you want him? أنا فضلته عليكم بالجسم والمال. I made him better than you, over you guys, more virtuous, because I gave him a body, جسم والعلم, sorry. I gave him a physique and intelligence. Military intelligence on top of it. So he knows strategy of military. They said, no, this bloke hasn't got any money. That's what they said to Allah. That's what they said to Allah. That's how we are now. Who is it? No, what is it? Look at this car. He doesn't know nothing. Look at his clothes. Look at his house. No, we're not listening to this bloke. We're not listening to this guy. He wants to be our president. He wants to run our community. No. And there's some gronk, astaghfirullah al-azim, who's, what? I'm telling you, how do they get their money? They sell drugs. That's what they do. They do a compo job. They get tobacco from overseas. That's how people are doing it. They rot the system. This whole, what do they call these things? The childcare thing. They're rotting and making $1 million. It's from rorts. And they come along, oh, here he comes. The bloke doesn't know his foot from his head. Oh, he's got a, 120,000, 200,000, $500,000 car. It's not that Bani Israel. Isn't that what Allah said about them? That's how we are now. That's how we are now. وَنَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ سُبْحَانَهُ وَتَعَالَى. So, money is not the issue. It's not the problem. The problem is our ittijah, our consideration, our focus, our attachment to money. As we said, Sayyidina Abdurrahman bin Auf was a multi-millionaire or billionaire. He's like, today we'd say he's a 1%er. But what did he use his money for? Okay? Whatever the Prophet wanted. Alayhi salatu wasalam. It was whatever Allah wants. There, bang. Was it Hunayn? I think the whole army, he sponsored it. Sponsored the whole army. But what's the payoff? They said, when the Prophet said, so-and-so's in Jannah, so-and-so's in Jannah, so-and-so's in Jannah, Abdurrahman bin Auf, he's 500 years behind everyone. He freaked out. He started sweating. What's us? We don't care, we're in Jannah. No, it's 500 years of those years behind everyone else. Then he got panicked. He came and asked the Prophet, Ya Rasulullah, why? What did I do? He says, because you have to be accounted for. There has to be accountability. So by the time all his accounts are taken care of, where's your money? Where'd you get it from? Is it 2 questions you asked? Everything else is 1 question. How did you live your life? How did you live your childhood? The 4 questions we get asked. One is, where did you get your money? And how did you spend it? The other one is, what about your ilm? What did you do with it? Knowledge. One is a double question. That's about money. How did you earn it? And how did you spend it? So, for us, all right, we might be a bit young, we don't really think too much about it. Our responsibilities are limited. But the reality of the life we live, the reality of the culture in which we're involved is money is everything. Isn't that the case? Who are our celebrated people? Wealthy people. If they're wealthy, we celebrate them. In America, the wealthy man is running for president. Oh, beautiful, no worries, he's got cash. You can run his campaigns. So, we want to be able, inshallah, to follow Imam al-Haddad's guide in regards to money and how we are entitled to use it, how we should use it, and how we shouldn't use it. And in the first aspect, Imam al-Haddad talks about, he says the zakat, and it's a rukn of the deen. Okay, so inshallah next week, we're only going to stop at this one line, but next week, inshallah, we're going to go through the fiqh of zakat. Okay, Hanafi and Shafi'i. So we'll do it up here on the board. What does the word zakat mean? How does it apply? To what does it apply? And to who can we give the zakat? Alright, so it won't go for 1 week, it'll be 2 or 3, maybe even more weeks. But there's no point reading about zakat. Does anyone know the rules of zakat? Anyone in this class? You know them? Somewhat, sometimes. Okay, so not many people. So it's not, for those it'll be a reminder, which we always need. And for those who haven't studied it before, especially if you earn money, you need to know these things. It's fard ayn. It's fard ayn. It's an individual obligatory obligation, or an individual obligation upon every single believer. So next week we'll go through it. Like I said, we'll take it until everyone understands it. I'm not in a hurry. You guys might be, but I'm a lot older, so I should be in more of a hurry than you guys. But we'll go through it until we understand it, so that when the time of zakat comes, when you're earning money, when you're deciding what you need to do with your money, you know how to use your money. You know how to arrange your affairs, so that, inshallah, whether you die when you're 80, or when you die when you're 18, or 28, or 38, or whatever, at least when you face Allah Azza wa Jal, you'll be clean. And in this world, that you'll know how you should deal with money. It should not overwhelm you, nor should you be overwhelmed by it. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه